All right. Oh, there we go. There we go. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check, check. All right. We're going to get this show on the road. Great to have everybody here today. Hashtag blessed to be here. Be a lot of other places, not so pleasant, not so positive. Great to be here with all this purple in the room. We love that. We're not just a room of red. We're a room of purple too. And we love that. This is hard to believe, Rex, 9th meeting of the year. We have 15. We're the only touchdown club in America, Chris Kane, that has 15 meetings in a row. No other touchdown club in America goes 15 straight meetings in the fall. So great to have everybody here. Looking forward to hearing Nathan Brown today. One of our favorites, his 8th year here. Hard to believe, 8 years. Wow. Whoa. I know UCA and the city of Conway feels so blessed and fortunate to have a class act like Nathan, and great to have him and his family here today. Had a big win. The Touchdown Club has been a little bit of a positive luck. Had Butch needed the win. UCA needed the win. Coming here the following week after Sam got one. Yeah. Well, that didn't work out so well, but I wasn't going to bring that up, but it's okay. But great that UCA got the win this weekend. Did want to mention, and I thought Butch Jones was great last week. I thought he did a good job. They had an open week. Yeah, I thought he was very good. Butch is always, boy, and they needed that win at home. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. Do want to mention, so next week, Nathan, it is crazy. Kelly Finglass, who is the director of the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders, is sold out. There's a waiting line. She sold more tickets than Lawrence Taylor. Go figure. I swear to you. We've been doing this for 21 years. So some of you are on a waiting list for friends. So we'll just do the best we can. We'll push it until the fire code tells us to stop. It's next Tuesday, not Monday. Next Tuesday. The only way you could come in, because the Cowboys are playing obviously on Sunday. So you had to do it on Tuesday. It's at the Marriott. It's on Tuesday. You do still have free parking here at the DoubleTree, but I'm going to encourage you to get here early for that. I'm just telling you, it's just the transition of doing over there. We have back-to-back meetings with her and Holly Rowe. If you have not got your tickets for Holly Rowe, who is the top sideline reporter in America, she's right after Kelly. So anyway, so we're really excited about the next 2 weeks over at the Marriott, but love being here at the DoubleTree. We do need to go ahead and give away our Nathan Jones pop-up. Let's see who we have here. Let's see. The winner is, make sure his wife didn't buy, Jessica didn't buy 50 tickets to get this thing. 41953. 41953. 41953. Going once. There we go. Right in the back. Right in the back. She's excited. She's excited. I love it. I love it. You betcha, you betcha. That'll be right there by the dining room, right there. Do want to thank Rockstar Passes for doing our pops each week. Thank you so much. Boy, you got off stage very quick, too. Do want to remind everybody, too, next week, thanks to Steve Qualls and Design Labs, all our volunteers will be wearing these pink Touchdown Club T-shirts because of Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. So these will be on sale too at our website. I don't know if you have that up there, Anita, or not, but we have a QR code. All the new Touchdown Club T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, you name it. Steve has done that for us. Instead of us being in the T-shirt business, we got out of that. But some really cool stuff if you want to get it with Touchdown Club all over it. Go to that QR code and go to our website. If you want to get it pink, you can certainly do that as well. Today, we normally have a large section, Nathan, of folks from Roller Chenal Funeral Home, or Roller Funeral Home. They are here every meeting. They've been here, but the founder, the family member who is the energy behind their business, Renata Jenkins-Byler, mom passed away on Friday. So I know that we sort of symbolically, they're not here, and normally they would be here. So I know we got Pixie and Preacher, who is the Pinnacle Church of Christ, Chuck Monan. He's actually going to do the funeral here in about 30 minutes. But he wanted to come up and lead us in a word of prayer. And so I just want to tell you, so Renata and her staff are here every week, Coach. They're here every week. They've been here for probably 15 years. They were here every week. So just say a special prayer for her. And as she deals with the loss of her mother, my mother is there to support her. And we would normally have 10 or 15 folks from them. But Chuck, would you come up at least in a word of prayer, please?
I was also given an assignment that I have to carry out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
Yeah. We have a birthday boy with us, our leader, our fearless leader. And he looks pretty good for 77.
I feel like that.
We must serenade you, young David. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. There we go. All right, let's pray together. Father, we're thankful for the food, for the health we enjoy. We're thankful for friends and family, and for the Touchdown Club, and for the sunshine it brings in so many lives. Father, we're mindful this morning of our sister Renata as she gets prepared to say farewell to her mother. Be with her and her good family, and give them comfort and give them healing, even in the fog of a broken heart. And Father, help us to minister to her and to all those around us that are hurting. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thanks, Chuck. Chuck is so good. I've had a chance to attend several funerals that he has presided over, and just does a great job. And so we appreciate you being here to start us off. And yeah, so Nathan said, so he said, how old are you? And I said, 62. He goes, 62. I said, I know. When I started the Touchdown Club, I was 21. No, sorry. It was 21 years ago. I was 42. So, but I am so blessed. I'm grateful to be here. And I know a lot of folks would love to be here. And my life has been blessed, and I'm here for another year, and surrounded by my friends, surrounded by great people, a great community. That's why I love it. It doesn't matter whether you're purple or red. You're here in Arkansas. We're trying to be better, trying to be the best we can. And I cannot think of any better place to be here. So thank you for the birthday wishes. So if you can, mute your phones if you don't mind. You can watch online at Arkansas PBS. They're doing the live streaming, Touchdown Club YouTube page, Facebook, Twitter, lrtouchdown.com. It's going to be live on 103.7 The Buzz. So just if you can, mute your phone for us so we don't hear that during Coach's words today. Thank all of you who are members. We can't do it without you. I want to thank our sponsors real quick. Our presenting sponsor, Simmons Bank. We have two of our Conway representatives, young guys that are hot shots in Simmons Bank for the future, Justin McCarty and Austin Norris. We appreciate you guys being here. You look like both of you could actually play today. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Nathan, you said Austin was one of the best players at UCA. So one of the all-time favorites. So there you go. So you can't decline him for a loan request if he comes in there. So, but great to have Simmons. You guys are all over the place. We got the best presenting sponsor. Appreciate you guys. You got the golf tournament coming up next week. It's going to be outstanding. We'll be out there in full force. Look forward to talking more about that. Do want to thank Stevens for also being a great sponsor as well. They're also the presenting sponsor of the Simmons Bank Championship. That's October 20th through the 26th. So make sure and make plans to get up there to Pleasant Valley Country Club. Thanks to Curtis Jeffries and Warren Simpson and all the games, Kevin Scanlon, Kurt Bradbury, of course, Warren Stevens himself, who's pretty busy, or he would be around to be a part of what we're doing. Crane Automotive, I want to say Christian Crane. I've been seeing a lot of commercials with Christian. He is the future for TV. He is a good-looking young man, and great to have all the Crane guys here and the Crane family. Appreciate what you guys have done. Been a part of this Touchdown Club for a long time, and Christian is a great TV spokesperson. Let me just say, he's the dude. Unlike the fat guy here, he's a guy for the future for you guys doing TV. Wright Lindsay and Jennings, they've been with us for so long. Judy Henry, Charlie Coleman. I know both of you guys are here. Thanks so much for your support of the Touchdown Club and the Cliff Harris Award all these years. Couldn't do it without you. They've been in business 125 years. Our next sponsor, Oaklawn Hot Springs, 120 years. I mean, think about that. Between those two sponsors, 245 years here in the state of Arkansas, thanks to Wayne Smith and Zach Gillum. I was 3-3 in college on my picks on the Oaklawn Sports app. I need for Washington to win tonight for me to be 2-2. I'm struggling. I'm fighting through this thing, but download the Oklahoma Sports app and have some fun saying that you can pick games better than me, which I will acknowledge this year that may be the case. So thanks to them. Do want to thank Summerwood Sports, the Hendricks family, 40,000 square feet sports complex in Bryant. Basketball, volleyball, baseball on the way. They do it all, and they're such a great supporter. So many people in the community, even beyond what they do there with their sports complex. But Summerwood Sports, thanks to them. Double B, Steve Lytle, Ed Light, we appreciate them. 34 locations across the state. They've been obviously, one of the prominent companies in our state for so long. We appreciate them. Gas it, grab it, and go. Sissy's Log Cabin, they've been around 54 years. Bill and Sherry Jones. Big Razorback supporters there in Pine Bluff, Little Rock, West Little Rock, Jonesboro, Memphis, and Conway. New location coming soon here in Little Rock. To mention Roller Funeral Homes, Renata, we hate to hear they're not here today, but our thoughts are and prayers are with them today. A very tough time for Renata. Hatcher Agency, Greg Hatcher, Hatcher Capital Investment, Scoops, Twin City Limo, Fashion, Finish Line RV. They do so much. Greg does so much for what we do. Even next week, talking about what we're going to do with Kelly Finglass. Greg is involved with that behind the scenes. Couldn't do our Touchdown Club without Greg Hatcher. Thanks to him. Advantage Service Company, Kevin Brooks, Matt Bailey. One Call does it all. Residential and commercial sales and service for HVAC, electrical needs. They've been in business 35 years. You call them, they will be out there ASAP within a few hours. Thanks for being so responsive for all the things you do in this community too as well. Thanks you, Kevin and Matt, who are here today. Simmons Bank Arena, Rex, I heard that coming up on November 9th, Maroon 5, I know they're one of your favorite, Maroon 5. Rex is always playing that in his car, Maroon 5. Or how about Alabama with Marshall Tucker? Would that be closer? Okay. They're November 15th. So anyway, thanks to Simmons Bank Arena for their sponsorship of the Touchdown Club. Pulaski County Farm Bureau, Todd Dennis and Stephen Reichert, great service, great rates, appreciate them. War Memorial Stadium, 76 years they've been around. Thanks to John Latch and Mark Pike for their work at the stadium, and Kevin Crass, chairman of the stadium, Shay Lewis as well. Our media sponsors, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Amanda Copley is here. There's Amanda down there. Wally Hall, still churning out those articles every week. What do you think, Rex? How long has Wally been writing for the Democrat Gazette? What would you think? Yeah, so, I mean, literally, right at 50 years, he's been doing that. And he still writes, he watches. You know, he's not here, he watches, and so he writes about the Touchdown Club every week. So thanks to Wally Hall, we'll be recognizing our All-Arkansas Preps Player of the Week here in just a few minutes. 103.7 The Buzz. Coach just got off the air with Justin Aker and DJ Williams, and we're going to go live here shortly. My man Roger Scott. I don't know where he's at today. It's hard to find him sometimes, but couldn't do the show without him. And, of course, Justin Moore and our producer, Josh Neighbors. This weekend I was all covered up in Knoxville. I mean, I literally did I feel like I did 15 or 20 live shots and shows from Knoxville. I'm blessed to do that for The Buzz. I couldn't do it without them, so thanks to The Buzz. AY Media Group, AY Magazine, Arkansas Money and Politics, Heather Baker. Heather, we've got the cover story of Kelly Finglass coming out Wednesday, right? So that will be on restaurants, places all over Arkansas, not just Central Arkansas. It's going to be a fascinating story about Kelly Finglass. And there have actually been several cheerleaders from Central Arkansas and Arkansas that have become part of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders over the last 50, 75 years. It's going to be a fascinating article, but Heather, I can't wait to see that. Thank you for your support of the Touchdown Club. Arkansas PBS, Anita, Brian, Kevin, Tanisha, a new executive director, Carlton Wing in the back. I know we got football championships coming up, volleyball, all that. I know they do the most important stuff in town, the history of our state and what's going on in the country, but they also do sports, and maybe better than anybody else in the country. So appreciate Arkansas PBS. And finally, JF Media and Marketing, Alicia Dover, Jeremy Flynn. So Nathan, last year, I don't know if you remember, but this is what JF Media and Marketing can do for your company if you want to. So you said last year, quote, you said, I get the Arkansas thing. You said, I grew up watching the Hogs, but since the Division I jump, nobody's had more wins than UCA. So that statement got over 500,000 impressions across social media. How about that? He said, I stand on that statement. But that's what JF Media Marketing can do for you. So take advantage of using them. He stands on it. Say it again, brother. You certainly can. I do want to thank Doubletree Hotel. We got the best hotel relationship around. Tiffany, Nita, Angel, and Mark. Thanks so much. Sunbelt Convention Services, Tim Glasscock. Rockstar Passes for our pop-ups, Brad Rickett and Joey Gonzalez. And our three new sponsors this year, we mention them every week. Midtown Plumbing, they started in 2013. They're based in Benton. Haley and Jim Coleman and Kyle Jackson. I appreciate them. It's a woman-owned business, husband and wife team. Call them for your plumbing needs. We say thanks to them. Arkansas Surgical Hospital, when it comes, tell your surgeon, I want to have surgery there at 5201 North Shore Drive off the Crystal exit. It's an amazing facility, Arkansas Surgical Hospital. Tell your doctor that's where you want to have your treatment done. And finally, Arkansas Spine and Pain, Dr. Qureshi, Scott Davis, 6 different cities, great doctors, good folks. Glad to have them here for the first year. Let's give a round of applause to all of our great sponsors. We could not do it without them. Thanks to Dwayne Duncan, who's been taking pictures with us for 15 years. So it's so funny. People go, I swear to you, and this is a true story, Nathan, is say we have Jimmy Johnson, or maybe it was Lawrence Taylor, the agent for Lawrence Taylor said, man, there's no way, we're going to be here 3 hours taking pictures. And I said, watch what happens. And that man, Dwayne, there's no playing around, and we'll do 300-400 pictures in like 20 minutes. So he's the best in the business. We're so blessed to have Dwayne each year. And yeah, he's probably 10 to 15 years been doing that for us. Chris Kane over here, RJ Hawk, Steve Sullivan, Steve Qualls, Davis Ford, all helping out. And our all amazing All-American volunteers, guys and ladies. They're the best in America. Nobody touches them, led by Debbie Wyman. Let's give it up for all of our volunteers who get here 2 hours in advance. We couldn't do this club without them. That's what makes us great. No RJ Hawk today, but we have Chris Kane, who is the half of the voice of UCA. He's also a former TV star. He is a star. He's with Delta Solar now. Give it up for Chris Kane, everybody, for our Arkansas Player of the Week.
Thank you, David. An introduction I do not deserve, but thank you. Yes, as he mentioned, RJ is out today. He has legislative duties, whatever that means. So we're going to get right to our Player of the Week, brought to you by the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. And listen to some of these numbers. It just goes to show you when it comes to what kind of player fully encapsulates what a team is about. It's someone that takes part in all 3 facets of the game, and this Player of the Week did that this past week, the week earlier. 58-21 was the final score in a win over Smackover. And our Player of the Week had 220 rushing yards on 7 carries, 3 touchdowns. That's an average of 31 yards per carry. Caught 4 passes for 56 yards and a touchdown, 7 tackles and an interception, returned 2 punts for at least 36 yards. He goes, I think I had more. I said, I'm just going by what's reported. 312 all-purpose yards, 4 total touchdowns. And then this past week, in a 67-14 win against the Falcon Monsters, is what they should be named, we've decided. He had 3 touchdowns as well. Ladies and gentlemen, he's with his father, who is his head coach. That's Daniel Keithley, his mom, Anna, and Ethan, one of 7 brothers. Pray for Anna, everybody, please. Give it up for our All-Arkansas Preps Player of the Week, Cademan Keithley, everybody.
Wow, 7, brother. Where's mom and daddy? Right? 7. No, listen. The dad raises the hand. The mom said, I did all the work there, right? Well, love having you guys here. Congratulations. That's amazing. I'm an only child, so I can't comprehend that. So I always find it fascinating what the relationship might be like between a father who is the coach coaching one of his kids. So it's got to be really a cool thing. Yeah, sometimes. Especially when you got a kid who's doing what he's doing. So great to have you guys here. Congratulations. We can have you guys back again. Now, I would have got you up here and had you do your dance, but Listen, I heard it was maybe a backflip, but I didn't want you hurting yourself off the top of the stage. So there we go. All right. So crazy weekend. Thought it was interesting with the Razorbacks in Knoxville. We'll see what Rex has to say about that. UCA with a big win and some other. I'll just say right off the bat, how about, the nature of college football, coach, that we're in right now, that you had 3 firings yesterday. One, you're getting ready to cut a check to James Franklin for $50 million. We had Jimbo Fisher here a couple years ago. They cut him a check for $70 million. It's just really crazy where college football is at. But anyway, nobody can give us a better update than Rex Nelson. Give it up for Rex, everybody.
Thanks, David. That time of year when I've got fall allergies and then I do a college game, so my voice is a little scratchy, I do apologize for that. But we'll make it through. Play with pain, right? Play with pain. Now, it's a federal holiday, so a lot of our bankers aren't with us, federal employees, Columbus Day. But I think David Basil's birthday ought to be a state holiday, don't you? At least. And get this, because I like Arkansas trivia. You share your birthday date with Bill and Hillary Clinton's anniversary date. Did you know that?
Wow.
Today is their 50th anniversary.
Whoa.
I don't know what that says. It says something. There's a joke there somewhere, but I haven't found it.
You know who else's birthday is today?
Who else?
Jerry Jones's birthday.
Jerry Jones
The only
today.
guy I can't get to come to the touchdown club, Jerry Jones. How about that?
Yeah. So President Clinton, with the scratchy voice, I can do my Clinton even better. He said to tell you to always believe in a place called hope, David. And one other advice, you can smoke, but don't inhale. All right, here we go. Tennessee 34, Arkansas 31, but didn't it look better than the Notre Dame game? Wow, much better. Arkansas falls to 2-4 overall, 0-2 in conference, its 4th consecutive loss. Razorbacks have never had a winning season in a year where they had 4 straight losses. I don't think anybody's expecting that, but I do think Petrino may surprise some people down the stretch. It's going to be interesting to watch. Now, I don't have to tell you, we've got a lot of Arkansas fans in here, the many reasons why it is maddening to be an Arkansas fan. But here's one of them. Arkansas's past 9 road losses have all been 1-score games. All 1-score games, all so close. This time 101,915 looked on at Neyland Stadium. Hogs actually outgained Tennessee 496 to 485 and became the first team to hold the Volunteers to fewer than 40 points this year. Volunteers are 5-1, 2-1 in the SEC. They did force 4 fumbles. Fumbles are still a problem, and it's the most they have forced since 2017. Now, I'm going to leave most of this North Alabama game to Coach, but it was a good one for UCA. UCA now 3-4 overall, more importantly, 2-1 in conference, 49-14 at North Alabama. Get this, the Bears outgained the Lions 486 to 290. Domination for UCA. Landon Chambers rushed for a career high. It was his 4th consecutive 100-yard game. Quarterback Austin Myers had a turnover-free game. Very good performance. Bears are getting better every week. I know Coach is going to tell you about that. UAPB big win. Golden Lions 3-3 after a 79-10 victory over Westgate Christian on homecoming day. UAPB outgained Westgate 579 to 121 in that game. And if you don't have plans, and I've been several times, you need to go. Grambling comes to Pine Bluff, and you get both bands at halftime in addition to the game this Saturday afternoon. Now, among the Arkansas GAC schools, they went 4-2 against Oklahoma schools on Thursday. Harding rolls on 35-7 against Southeastern Oklahoma. They're 6-0. I don't think anybody's going to touch them in the regular season. Number 2 in the country. Braden Jay always liked to talk about Arkansas kids, and he's from Cabot. He had 180 yards rushing, became the 5th player in Harding history to rush for more than 3,000 yards in his career. And he's got a whole season to go. And if they go deep in the playoffs, he could hit 4,000. Southern Arkansas 5-1, 14-12 win in Magnolia over Southwestern Oklahoma. Mule Riders had to stop a 2-point conversion attempt with 4 seconds left to keep that one from going into overtime. Henderson also 5-1, 59-0 in Arkadelphia over 0-6 Northwestern Oklahoma. They've got 2 good quarterbacks. Andrew Edwards, 15 of 25 for 203 yards passing, and Austin Ledbetter, 5 of 5, 111 yards. So Harding is 6-0, SAU 5-1, Henderson 5-1, all having very good seasons. Arkansas Tech falls to 4-2, 37-21 loss to 4-2 East Central Oklahoma. Ouachita gets revenge for the Halloween nightmare last year. Last year, you may remember, David, Ouachita was 8-0, playing 0-8 Southern Nazarene. Ouachita was ranked number 3 in the country, and Southern Nazarene won in one of the biggest upsets in Division II history. Ouachita goes to Bethany, Oklahoma, though, and they win it 28-7. They're young. Their starting quarterback's just a sophomore. He broke his collarbone, so he's gone for the year. So they have to put in the second quarter a true freshman out of Texas named Trey Nichols. And, Coach, we all love this kind of story with a freshman. He comes in and ends up with 213 yards passing and 102 yards rushing, 315 yards of offense in 3 quarters of play. UAM falls to 2-4, 17-14 loss to 2-4 Oklahoma Baptist in Division III. Hendricks is 3-2 following a 60-21 victory over Austin College. Line is 1-3 following a 65-7 loss to McMurray. NAIA, Arkansas Baptist 3-4, a 48-14 loss to Langston out of Oklahoma. Now, 10 SEC teams ranked in this week's poll. This week's opponent, the Aggies, number 4. Ole Miss, number 5. Alabama, number 6. Georgia, number 9. LSU, number 10. Tennessee, number 11. Oklahoma, number 14. Missouri, number 16. Vanderbilt, number 17. And Texas, number 21. Only 2 unbeaten teams left overall, though. Texas A&M, 6-0. Ole Miss also 6-0. So we have Texas A&M at Arkansas, 2:30 on ESPN. This is a great week in the SEC. There's always a lot of history in the SEC about the 3rd Saturday in October. So when Tennessee and Alabama always play, the winners smoke cigars. So the SEC plays all conference games. So first time this year, we have 8 conference games, everybody playing. In addition to Texas A&M and Arkansas, Oklahoma at South Carolina, Ole Miss at Georgia, Mississippi State at Florida, Texas at Kentucky, Tennessee at Alabama, LSU at Vanderbilt, and Missouri is at Auburn. Now, also here in the state, first of all, remember that ASU has a weird Tuesday night game. You sometimes have to do that in the Sun Belt to get national TV. That is tomorrow night at South Alabama, and it will be on ESPN2. Now, in addition to Fayetteville, game Saturday in the state, I mentioned Grambling at UAPB. Attend that one if you can at all. Harding at Henderson, 6-0 Harding at 5-1 Henderson. SAU versus Arkansas Tech in the Murphy USA Classic in El Dorado. Ouachita at UAM, and Centenary at Line. So, you know what that means? Fayetteville, Pine Bluff, Arkadelphia, El Dorado, Monticello, and Batesville. No excuses, everybody. Please get out and see a college football game on Saturday. Thank you.
All right, Rex. Any suggestion on what Rex should do for his voice? Besides shut up? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Rex. We love it. I'm kidding. Listen, Rex always goes through this at some point of the year. He's a talker. A couple things before we introduce Coach. Have you guys been hearing about this T-Mobile thing in Derricks? So Derricks is this. Yeah, this T-Mobile company has been doing this contest for the last month. The small town that has the most, that gets the most phone calls or votes, gets $1 million for their high school stadium. With Derrick's. No. The locals call it Derrick's, but it is, it's so most people call it Dirks, but the locals call it Derrick's. But anyway, so they have asked, could you mention the Touchdown Club, continue to vote? They've got all kind of celebrities. I mean, they've got some of the highest profile celebrities to post. Larry the Cable Guy and others. So it's $1 million, Coach, that will go to their high school stadium. So it's over there on the west side of the state.
Yes, and you can vote every day.
You vote every day. It goes to October 24th. So we'd love for them to win. They're the smallest city in the competition. Also, even though I am 62 today, we have somebody here who is a special number. She was one of our early members, been with us for a long, long time. I don't see her. She is celebrating her 80th birthday. Hazel, stand up. Let's give a round of applause for Hazel back there. She's 80 going on 40. Hazel, happy birthday. She always loves saying, you don't tell him it's your birthday without telling him it's mine. So we love Hazel. Thank you. She's been a great member. I also want to recognize all of our folks here from UCA. If you would just hold your applause. First, Steve East. Steve has been, how many years were you the sports information officer at UCA? 31 years, Steve East. Let's give a round of applause for Steve East for 31 years. So if you will, now hold your applause. Jeremy Bishop, who's taking it. Jeremy, please stand. Just stand. I want everybody to see you. In addition to Jeremy, we have Dr. Houston Davis, the UCA president. We also have his wife here, the first lady of UCA, Jenny Davis. Jenny, please stand. The UCA athletic director, Matt Whiting, please stand. Jeremy Gillum, the director of government affairs and external relations. For the board of trustees, Dr. Terry Fiddler. Chief of staff, Amy Whitehead. Let's give them all a round of applause. Always great to have them there. It's always wonderful to have the parents of Nathan here today. David and Becky Brown, please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. They're here every year. There they are right there. Great to have you. I know what you tell your son. You bring it every year, son. You bring it every year. And, of course, great to have the wife of Nathan, Jessica Brown. She brought their kids, Riley and Luke. Riley is 12, will be 13 next week. Luke is 11. And Riley just went through surgery only a week ago. They had to take something out of her knee and put it in her elbow, but she is here with cast in hand. Please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. 8 years. 8 years they've been coming. Beautiful, beautiful family. Hard to believe we actually have been able to watch you guys grow up. And I think Rex and Chris, they may be, I don't know what the record is for most years at the Touchdown Club. I don't know, but they might be. They might, you might have it. Nate, how about that? So one of the things that before we have Steve Sullivan introduce Nathan is that everybody says the same thing about Nathan. When he gets up here at the podium, you can feel the passion he has for the university. You feel the passion he has for the city of Conway. You feel the passion he has for the state of Arkansas. You feel the passion he has for his players. And listen at the very beginning of this. I'm glad Steve always involves this. He was a record-setting player for UCA, a record-setting player for UCA. And so he has so much passion for this university. We always love having him here. We love seeing purple in the room. So let's take a look at Steve Sullivan's introduction of Nathan Brown.
Central Arkansas QB Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown, all he did was throw 7 touchdown passes.
October 11th, 2007. Nathan Brown lands the top spot in ESPN's Plays of the Day with a school record 7 touchdown passes. The most prolific quarterback in UCA history joined the UCA coaching staff in 2010. As an assistant, he coached 4 of the top 6 offenses in program history. Then in 2017, the Russellville native was named head coach.
I'm a UCA guy, I'm an alum, I'm a former player, and I will always be here for you guys. I can promise you that. We're going to go win a lot of football games, and we're going to represent this community, the state of Arkansas, and the university to the best of our ability. Thank y'all.
Nathan is currently in his 8th season as UCA's head coach. His Bears have won 2 league titles, and his overall conference record is 28-17. Nathan has been part of UCA championships as a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach. Please welcome the ultimate Bear, UCA head coach Nathan Brown.
Not a big intro guy. I've said that every year, but if I had to pick one person to do my intro, it'd probably be Sully. Sully called the games when I was a Bear. He was just getting into that, did it for a long time. So really, Sully watched me grow up, and so it's really neat to be able to see him. And obviously, he's a superstar in this state, and what he does as a sportcaster is really impressive. So always appreciate Sully and what he says about not just me, but the Bears, the city of Conway, and obviously the state of Arkansas. That's important. Two things that aren't even on my script to talk about today, but they've kind of popped in my head. The first thing is, you mentioned Bill and Hillary Clinton, Rex. I actually share a birthday with Bill Clinton. Yeah, so small world. So I share a birthday with President Clinton. So that's kind of neat. Second thing is I've got a lot of respect for one of the main sponsors of this, and he's here every year very loyally, and I'm just going to have to call him out. Greg Hatcher, you were late today. Oh, okay, I got you. You got to leave early? Okay, that's a good enough excuse, though. So here's a funny story about this. Back in the summer, Greg and I and Lane, his son Hatcher, had a lunch scheduled with him. And I was meeting him at the office, so I was driving to the office. I think I was supposed to be there at 11:45. He was in a staff meeting. So I get there and I talk to his receptionist or his secretary, and she's like, he's in a meeting right now. I'm like, no, I'm here early. I don't want to bother him or whatever. Well, he sends your daughter out to check and see if Coach Brown has showed up. And Greg, because it had gotten to about 11:45, so I'm still looking at my watch. Like, Greg's a prompt guy. He's got a lot of success in his life, and he's not coming to find me. Well, Greg sends his daughter out to see if I'm there and waiting. And the secretary said, yeah, he's been here for 20 minutes. And Greg said, I would expect nothing less out of him. And I appreciate that. So then I go in, and Greg has not prepped me. So the most successful people usually are this way. He did not prep me. He said, hey, so I sit down, I watch him finish his meeting, and then he proceeds to go, hey, Coach Brown, I want you to get in front of my staff and give your recruiting pitch. Like, how do you recruit student athletes? So he puts me on the spot. I assume I passed. Did I pass? Well, he'd hire me. Good. Okay, good. I'm set. All right. So, but that's funny. But I've just given Greg a hard time. I appreciate him and his support, and obviously just giving him a hard time and just checking to make sure Lane doesn't have any eligibility left. That's a good spot. Just make sure he watches PBS later. Okay, make sure he sees that. No, that's awesome. First thing I want to do is thank Bass, Rex, the Touchdown Club for having me again. You recognize my family. My parents are here, so supportive, always have been. I've got the best family in the world, Jessica, Riley, and Luke. They're as good as it comes. They could care less if we win by 40 or lose by 40. They're always going to be there. And then I'm going to try to be there for them as well. You talked about coaching your son. I've had a chance to coach Luke, some of his little league teams. Man, that's hard. You want to wring their neck sometimes, don't you? It's not easy. But man, they're fun, and obviously they bleed purple just like I do. Next to, I'd love to recognize President Davis. Jenny, you guys are saints. You're angels. You're awesome. Everything y'all do for our program. Not just the university, but President Davis is usually one of the first people to text me whether we win or lose, and you just don't see that often, I would assume. I kind of only know one thing. I know President Davis, so I'm spoiled, but I appreciate that. And then I obviously want to mention Matt Whiting and the job he's done in his first year plus of being on the job. I can only imagine. That can't be the most fun job right now to be athletic director in this world we're in, but he's doing a great job of that. So I appreciate them, and then obviously all the purple that's here. That they make my job easy, and that allows me to be a football coach, try to win games, and do the best to our ability every single day and year we have a chance to compete. Two things I always talk about when I come up here. I feel like it's important for me to, one, be a great ambassador for UCA. I get a chance to stand in front of the state of Arkansas, essentially. Obviously, there's a lot of purple in the crowd, but I get a chance to stand in front of you guys as a representative of my university. And then the second thing I believe is that I get to be a representative for the profession of coaching. Coaching is a unique profession. It's not normal. We're actually kind of borderline psychopaths doing what we do. And so an opportunity to get up here and promote the profession is important to me. You know, and the first thing that comes to mind when I talk about the profession of coaching and coaching the game of football is, why is football so important for men? You know, and I'm not discrediting the females in here, but the men that play football. Why is football so important? Well, I wrote some of this stuff down because I believe football is the greatest asset to a business, is the greatest promotion to whatever your next job is when you graduate. The sport of football and being part of a team and a part of a locker room where you bring in so many different socioeconomic backgrounds, race backgrounds, religion backgrounds, and you put it in a melting pot of a locker room and you try to go create a common goal and a common cause for a victory, is something unique and special. I wish our government would come sit in a locker room and watch us sometimes. You know what I mean? I wish they would. I mean, it's just true. You know, these things come to mind when I think about it. Being a part of a team, accountability to self, but also others at the same time. Obviously, discipline. Discipline is so important in this world. Building future leaders. Like leadership, I can't tell you. I mean, I'm looking at one right here, Austin Norris. I see J.D. White over here. I mean, those are former players that have sat in my locker room, and they're leaders, young leaders in their communities. It's pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I think this might be the most important thing to me because this was taught to me as a young age from my family, but respecting your opposition, right? Respecting. I think it's so important, whether you win, lose, whatever the situation is. You could be very humbled within a football game, right? You can think that you're going to go win a battle, win a football game, and you get humbled. Humility, right? Humility in winning and humility in losing, like respecting the opposition, respecting the game. How to handle adversity, like how to handle tough times, right? We all talk about practicing what we preach and doing all those things. You learn how to handle adversity, and you compete to win. You want winners in your business, right? You want successful people in your business. Well, that's what football promotes. That's what being in a locker room promotes. You know, so why is football good for people? I think that's important for you. The price of being a coach is large. Okay, so let's go to promoting coaching, Baz. Like the price of being a coach. You mentioned it today. What, 4 openings in a weekend? I think it's 9 total. Like people are losing their jobs for coaching a game. Now, do you feel sorry for the ones that are getting paid $60 million? No, not necessarily. But that's not counting the 40 others that are in that program that are losing their job too. You know, and there's support staff, there's assistant coaches, there's little kids that they got to go home and tell them, hey, you're not going to be in this school next year because we're going to be somewhere else. There's more than just that, right? So the price of being a coach is so large. This is the most difficult era of football. Really college athletics, but I'm obviously a football coach, to be a coach. The last 5 years of this world and that we're in has totally flipped upside down. So let's talk about what has happened. You started out with the transfer portal, right? So therefore your kid can leave at their beck and call, right? Then you add on NIL, which I'm a huge fan and advocate of. I'll talk more about that in a second. I 100% believe that in the name, image, likeness era, I would have loved to capitalize off of my name, image, likeness. But what we have created is a pay-for-play system, and that has created a very thin line to ride, okay? But here's what it's equaled. The transfer portal, the NIL world have become a marriage. And now that they've created a marriage, you've created a monster. And you've got to keep feeding that monster. And that monster is going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Right? And so that is a tough spot to be in as a coach. I spoke to a group Matt and I were able to go speak to a group at Mike's Place in Conway a couple weeks ago for Hall of Fame weekend. I think it was the 76 football team. They have a reunion every year. And I looked them straight in the eyes and I said, look, there's not going to be many reunions from here on out. Like, I think about that, like of my freshman class, when I came into UCA in 2004, I think all but about 4 of us were still in that class. And there was a couple medical injuries, maybe something here or there that happened. There was no transferring. There was nobody getting disgruntled because they weren't playing. They just grinded their way out. We had guys that became all-conference, all-American players. We had guys that were backups their whole career. But we fought through the times and the adversity and the good times and the bad times. You're just going to see less and less of that. So getting an opportunity to speak in front of those era of former players and UCA people and all that is huge to me, because I want them to know that the purity in the sport is still alive with Coach Brown. It's still there. The belief in what the University of Central Arkansas football program that's been built on for years, 100+ years of great football, is not being forgotten, even in this world we're in. The price of being a coach, you're loved and you're hated at the same time. Woo! I'll tell you what, if winning felt as good in reverse as losing feels as bad, because losing feels pretty bad. There's no feeling like losing a football game. And winning is almost just like a breath of fresh air. It's like a relief. It's like, whoo, man, we got that one. On to the next one, right? It's tough. You're loved and hated. Your best days and your worst days are put on display for everybody to have an opinion of. You know, and not only that, I don't have the pen last. 18 to 22-year-olds do. And that's a tough place to be. The relationships, good and bad. You know, I got this text. I wanted to read it from a current player I have right now. And I wanted to read it to you guys. And this is not to pat Coach Brown on the back. This is not to do any of that. But I just want you guys to understand the impact that coaches can make. The impact and the importance of our day-to-day relationship with these young men. It said, this young man, I'm not going to say his name, but he's an in-state player. He's from a small school in the state of Arkansas. He sent me this text after our third straight loss, okay? Third straight loss. He said, what's up, Coach? He said, I don't say much, but I wanted you to know I wouldn't change a thing about me being at this place no matter what. I've never been a greedy player. I have too much love for the game, so making my decision to play for you was easy. You're a family man and you care about your players. You're the best coach I've ever played for, and you make it easy for me to play as hard as I can every snap. When players question their commitment to UCA throughout the season, I always let them know you've coached us hard, you've pushed us well, and the rest is on us. As a team, we should be grateful for these opportunities. And it's rare to not only have a great head coach, but great men and human beings leading this program. That's the least I can do after you brought me in knowing I wouldn't even be ready to go until the fall. He had an injury in the spring. I promise I'm going to make sure our guys are ready and locked in for the rest of the season. We owe you your family. That's why you coach. That's why you coach for moments like that. Listen, and look, I do not say that to pat me on the back. I promise you, coaches across America get that text all the time. They do. But I also want that young man to know that his identity is not in football. It's more than football. Yeah, that's a piece of your life. That's a part of your life. But that's not who you are and defines you. That young man was a transfer that decided to come into our program. And again, that's a really neat text to get. Since that text, we've won 2 games. He's been a great leader. He's making plays on the field. He was making plays on the field before that, but he actually verbalized it at that point. Really neat deal. The weight of the price of being a coach also, the weight of the program on your shoulders. Talked about those losses. I go home after a win or a loss, and it's just straight decompression. It's like, whew, man, that was tough. That was a good win. That was a hard loss, whatever it is. I decompress in my office. My family sits there with me, but I don't sleep. I think, you know, it's like you start in August and you end in December, and it's you guys that matter. It's the people that care about the program that matter. I say this, and the first thing I told Matt on Saturday after we won, he was down there to celebrate with us, all that. First thing I said to you was, I'm just happy for everybody. I'm happy for everybody involved. I'm happy for our equipment guys that work tireless hours. I'm happy for our training staff that tape ankles and do dirty work, that don't get paid a ton of money. I'm happy for our volunteers. I'm happy for my student assistants, my assistant coaches. Like, it's not ever about me. Like, winning is awesome. Yeah, right. But like I like to see the smiles on the faces of everybody else. Like, that is what matters to me. You know, I got another quote I wanted to read, or a couple quotes I wanted to read real fast that just mean a lot to me. Kirby Smart said the three costs of leadership. And our leaders in the room, y'all hear this and you'll understand what I say when I say this. He said, you will have to make hard decisions that negatively affect people you care about. That's not easy. Like, people you truly care about, but you're having to make decisions that will affect them one way or another. Second thing he says is you will be disliked despite your best attempt to do the best for most. That's tough now. When you think you're doing it right and you're putting everything you got into something and and people still ain't good enough for some people, that's tough. That's tough. And this is coming out of Kirby Smart's mouth. The third thing he said is you will be misunderstood and won't always have the opportunity to defend yourself. You know, sometimes I know Coach Brown's always taken this approach, like we brought up the Arkansas quote. I still stand on that, but I'll tend to like to be politically correct. I'm not going to say something to ruffle feathers just to do it. So we may be in a situation where I know what's right, I know what's going on, but I'm not going to sit up here and defend something that doesn't need to be defended. So you can be misunderstood with that. You know, the price of coaching is tough. And so as a person up here that gets a chance to stand in front of you guys and have a platform, like, understand, yeah, it's great to go fire a coach, or it's great to go crown a coach for being an unreal coach, but there's more to them than just being a coach. They're humans. There's a lot of people around them that it affects. And it's an important piece. I feel like that's one of my callings in this, is to talk about that every chance I get. You know, I think about this, why UCA? Like, why is UCA so special? Why do you always promote UCA? Why haven't you left UCA? Why are you still, you know, I got the head coaching job at 31 years old. You know, I'm only 39 still. You know, I mean, I'm not that, I'm got a few more gray hairs, all that, whatever. And honestly, out of this conversation, because as years go by, you hire younger and younger coaches. So therefore I get older and older. And so it's still young, but like, I'm having to, like that 40 mark, right? You kind of become, you're not a young coach anymore. You're kind of a middle-aged coach, right? So I'm in that transition period. So I'm thinking about that. But it really is about the great people and about the coaches over the years. I was fortunate enough early in my career to be able to coach under two great coaches at UCA, Coach Clint Conk and Coach Steve Campbell. Totally opposite ends of the spectrum the way they coached. Totally opposite ends of the spectrum in some of their strengths. Coach Conk was anal retentive. He was organized. He didn't cover. There wasn't a detail that wasn't uncovered with that man. Got to watch that every day. Got to be a part of that every day. Then I go fast forward to get to coach for Steve Campbell, and he's just an old ball coach. Like, literally, like, he was in the thick of it, coaching the offensive line as the head coach. Like, I got to see it both. So let me marry those two together and try to be the best version of what I've seen. You know, I got a chance at 24 years old to start calling plays. So let's think about this. Since 2011, there has not been really a play call that has been called at a University of Central Arkansas game since 2011 that has not either came out of my mouth or I had the last say-so on. That's a long time. There's been a lot of championships with that. There's been a lot of wins. There's been a lot of tough times with that. But think about this. I just said it was about the people and coaches over the years. Why UCA? Well, let's think about some of those greats that have been a part of UCA. You're talking about a head coach at Florida State, Mike Norvell, coached and played right next to him. You're talking about the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, Buster Faulkner. Called plays with him sitting right next to me. He's the offensive coordinator, 6-0, Georgia Tech right now. He's calling every play. Probably going to be a head coach next year at who knows where, maybe Arkansas. Slade Nagel, the offensive coordinator at Houston. You know, when I got told my first time I was going to call plays, we were at halftime at Sam Houston State. We were down in Huntsville, Texas. I was a second-year quarterback coach. You know, I'm sitting there, you know, coaching up the quarterbacks. Nathan Dick was our starting quarterback, transfer from Arkansas, having a great year, was actually the conference player of the year that year. Well, he got knocked out right at halftime, had a concussion. So we had to go to a true freshman quarterback. Happens to us all. Kid named Winrick Smothers out of Destrehan, Louisiana. Coach Conk was calling plays at the time. Comes to me, Slade Nagel standing next to me, because Slade Nagel's calling plays for the University of Houston right now. Slade Nagel's standing right next to me. He's our running backs coach. Coach Conk comes to me and says, Coach, hey, Nate, you got it. I said, I got what? He said, you calling plays second half. You know Winrick better than I do. And I'm sitting there going, I'm panic mode. I mean, that's not something you just turn the page and just start calling plays. You got to prep. You got to be ready. You got to be ready to go. But look, here's what was happening. I've talked about this before. You got to be ready when your time is called. My time was called then. I couldn't anticipate it. I didn't know it was going to be called, but I was ready. I was ready for that opportunity. And you know what? We went on to called every place since then, basically. And we went on that year. Nathan got back, got healthy. Winterick played a good game that game. We went on to win that game in the second half. And we went on to be a conference championship team and go to the second round of the playoffs that year. It's pretty impressive run. You know, and then I look at Jerry Mack, head coach of Kennesaw State. He stood next to me as a wide receiver coach. Billy Best, offensive coordinator at Colorado State. He stood next to me as an O-line coach. There's been some unreal people that came through this program. Some great innovative coaches and minds in this country right now, like around the nation, have wore the purple and gray. And I've stood next to them. So don't think that Coach Brown's just sitting here as this guy that's just come up with his own stuff. I've been around great minds. I don't just snap my fingers and become a great football coach. It takes great people to be around you. Sustainable success over the years. Why UCA? Because we sustained success. You mentioned the Arkansas comment. Nobody expected us in 2006 when we said, hey, we're going to make this jump to Division I to have the success we had. You're talking 2 decades of unreal success. There's teams that still made that jump that have not had a winning season. It's unreal. It's unheard of, but it's about the people. It's about the administration. It's about the fans. It's about the people that care about the program. It's so much bigger. A future YUCA, a future commitment to excellence. We made an announcement this past week, right? Opting into the new settlement, 26-27 season. Unbelievable step in the direction where athletics is going. Unbelievable step for the University of Central Arkansas. Unbelievable step not only for the football program, but our entire athletic department. I can't thank our board of trustees enough. I can't thank President Davis enough for the commitment, and obviously Matt Whiting, and what we have created for sustainability, not for the short term, but for the long term. This decision wasn't made overnight. We didn't just snap our fingers and say, hey, that school in our conference is doing it. Well, we're doing it. We didn't just go with the trend. We got a plan in place. They put time, effort, energy, studying time. I'm sure a lot of meetings to give us an opportunity to not only do that, but also sustain success and sustain the ability to continue to grow with it. It's a step in the right direction. So why UCA? The commitment to the future. Because we are in a world where football is different. We are in a world where college athletics is different. And guess what? 2 years from now, it's going to be even more different. So we're going to have to keep growing. We're going to have to keep bringing it on. We're going to have to continue to push the envelope. That's the only shot you got. It's important to keep that mindset. You know, I was talking to our Bearbackers group a couple weeks ago. UCA Bears were sitting at 1-4, Baz. Not a good spot. I told my people, and I say my people, that's the purple and gray folks that I love and they love me, that you're going to have to bear with me. I'm not used to this. This is new to me as a coach. I'm not used to being 1-4. It's not normal. Like, it'd be different if I had past experience of it or knew how to handle it. So I just said, how you guys are going to have to understand, like, I'm going to get through this and I'm going to do it with y'all. I turned, and I said this to that group that day. I said, I turned to the smartest person I know, and that's my wife, Jessica, for advice, right? And so with that advice, she sent me a couple quotes, and I want to say these, because listen, this has nothing to do with football. These quotes are good. So I think quotes tell a story, and when you get a good quote, it'll just hit you different. You know what I mean? So listen to these quotes, and if you need these after, you're going to ask me for some of these after. Y'all just come ask me. I'll screenshot them to you. First thing it said this was stuff to get through a tough time, right? You're 1-4, Coach Brown. You've lost it, right? What's going on? First quote said, a man asked a gardener why his plants grew so beautifully. The gardener said, I don't force them to grow, I remove what stops them. So in other words, it's not about the growth of the plant, it's about removing what stops the growth. So I had a big come to Jesus meeting in my head. So I talked to my players about exterior forces, outside noise. Remove it. You can't grow when there's stuff holding you back, right? The second quote was this. This is pretty short quote, but it makes a lot of sense. When the road gets bumpy, you don't leave the car. You don't jump out of the car when the road gets bumpy. you put your seatbelt on. All right? So you put your seatbelt on. Things aren't always going to be smooth. There's going to be speed bumps. There's going to be curves. There's going to be a rough path. You put your seatbelt on and you ride it out. You figure it out. You do it with people that care, that want to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. That's what that seatbelt is. It's a solution, right? It helps you with the problem of the bumpy road. Here's maybe my favorite one, and this is why I say this. And I told my team this Friday night at our team meeting, this quote. It said, someone asked me, what's your favorite place? And this goes back, think about this. Why do you love UCA so much, Coach Brown? Baz, like you'd say, I always talk about it. Conway, UCA, why is this place so special? Well, here's the answer to that, this quote. What's your favorite place, the person asked. He said, I don't have a favorite place. I have favorite people. And whenever I'm with them, it becomes my favorite place. Surround yourself with people that you care about. Look, my life is more important than about me. Like, I'll be fine no matter what. Coaching can take me to the ends of the earth, or it can drop me like a bad habit. But my people are right here. And that's the truth. And so let's extend that olive branch to my UCA people. So when I talk to the Bearbackers group, or I talk to a bunch of, and some of y'all I don't even know, you still see some red in here, and that's okay. But there's a lot of purple in here, right? And y'all are my people. And you may say, what are you talking about? I feel safe. It's a special place. I don't just talk. I say this sometimes. I say this to my small group at church. Zach, you've heard me say this before. Nobody take this offensive, please. So I'm going to go ahead and preface that with that. I don't really like people. I'm an introvert by nature. And I say that very, I like my time. I like me time. I like being at home to decompress. I feel like I have to be in front of 18 to 22 years old all the time and literally be on point all the time. Literally on point all the time. So when I get a chance, I like kind of being by myself or being with my family. But when I say I extend that olive branch to my UCA family, I really mean that. You guys matter. You guys are special. University of Central Arkansas is special. There's a lot of things that are going up. There's a lot of things that are trending in the right direction. Are we snapping our fingers and it happening overnight? Nope. That's not the way anything great ever happens. The best books, the best stories, the best movies are filled with adversity. They're filled with chapters in it where things don't go right. They're filled with chapters where you know what it does go right. Deep roots. Someone that believes, a group of people, not one person, a group of people that come together for a common cause, a common goal to create something special. And that's what a football locker room's about. That's what the University of Central Arkansas has been built on for years, way before Coach Brown, way before any of us in this room, and will be that way well after because of the leadership that we've sustained over the years. That's why UCA. That's why it's so unique. What does the future hold? We're going to keep watering the bamboo. What are you talking about? We're going to keep watering the bamboo. Y'all know how bamboo works? Coach Williams, my defensive coordinator, got to speak in front of our team a couple weeks ago. He talked about watering the bamboo. Bamboo, you can water it every day, and it may not sprout for 3 years. It may sprout in 6 months, but there's no guarantee when it's not like a flower that you can water and put sun on it, and all of a sudden it's going to bloom, and you know the time of year it's going to come out. Bamboo's not that way. You continue to water the bamboo, and then the bamboo will shoot up like 60 feet in like a week. Think about that. We're going to keep watering the bamboo. Here's what I do know. The University of Central Arkansas football program, take FBS opponents, take those money games out. We've won over 70% of our FCS non-FBS football games since moving to Division I football. Over 70%. There would be, I'm going to say 80% of the country would beg for that. Beg for that. Let's go on top of that since the move to Division I, since we've been on that theme. Baz brought it up from last year, trying to go viral again. You can up that to 77% of conference games won. Come on now. There ain't many years we ain't in it. Everybody had the UCA Bears for dead 2 weeks ago. 1-4, 0-1 in conference. Guess what? Don't blink. We're 2-1. We're by ourselves in second place in the United Athletic Conference, resting up, recovering, getting ready for the home stretch to go put a run on this. And there's help coming. And there's help coming. This is a special place. There's special people in this room. The state of Arkansas is unique and special. You know, I was talking about this with Acre. You've got talking high school football. This state is so underrated with their high school football. And what did I say, Justin? The one thing that makes it underrated is the coaching. I believe it's some of the best coach football in this state that you can find. And I'm talking from the 7A level to the 2A level. We're going to be fine and be able to find talent in this state. We're going to be able to continue to sustain success because we have people that know what it takes at the University of Central Arkansas. So all I ask is that you guys keep believing. You keep watering the bamboo, that you continue to believe in what the big cause is and understand that this is a process, not a snap of the finger. We got a special place. We got special people. This place is special. Slip me at the wrist. I bleed purple. Go Bears.
Wow. Holy cow. I can't top watering the bamboo. Nathan Brown, everybody. Great job, Nathan. Woo! All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. Great to see Christina Munoz, Jason Peterson, Garland Dunn, to get a chance to see you guys. Remember next week, Kelly Finglass. If you want to get your picture made with Coach, come on up. We'll get it done.